He met us there. All of them came and stood over me. When he saw that,
James.
He went to one of their guard commanders, an NIA called James. He said, let's go and see. When they went aside, on the whole, they went to the DG. And they gave DG the report, saying that this man's condition if we don't release him from here, he might die. Then they came and told me that. James said, can you have somebody who will bail you? I said, yes. I have brothers in Brikama. Let me call them.
Okay.
He said, okay. Let's go to Sukuta Jame's office. We all went to Sukuta. Sukuta used to call me my in-law. He said to me, my in-law, what has happened? I said, well, okay, here. He said, okay, now, whom do you want to call? I said, I want to call Mamina Fadera. He asked me to give him the number, and I gave him the number. Mamina was called. He came. He signed the bail bond for me. And I was released.
After
1 month. But I go and report for the bail bond. Weekly. I was there. One day somebody came to me at Jarasoma. He said his name is Bakari Dahaba. He said he was working as an informer with the NIA. He said he has pity for me. And he was aware of my arrest. And he himself played a part in it. And he's the person whom the chief sends to DG. What he told me was that he was the DG's errand boy. But now, when this thing happened, on the whole, I am a relative to him. Because his wife, his wife's aunt is my stepmother. When this news spread around, he himself regretted because he played a part.
So another sign.
Now he told me now, these NIA boys, they want you to give them something so that you will not go for reporting anymore. I will talk to them. Because DG is my friend. I asked him now, how much am I going to give you? He said to me, give me 10,000, I will give them that. I said to him, I don't have money. These people destroyed my whole business. And I have a big family. I said to him, let me talk to my relatives. I talked to my brother who is sitting here. I said to them, I don't have money. They said to me now, we will try and make up about 5,000. Because as far as now we happen to be relatives. Whatever remains behind, he can also contribute that. They collected the 5,000. Myself, I went with all of them up to Yundum. And this money was given to Bakari Dahaba. He called the DG in my presence. He didn't give DG any information about money. But what he told the DG before, He told DG, those things that we told you before were all lies. Whatever they said about Fadera, what I came to tell you were all lies. He decided to put his mobile on speaker. I was there. My elder brother here was there. My other brother was there. We had lunch in his compound. Truly, his wife, is a niece to my stepmother. After that, I didn't go to report anymore. That's how it happened. In that case.
And that was the end of your troubles?
That's the end of my trouble with them.
Okay, so in essence, you were first detained at the NIA for 4 days?
Yes.
And during that period, they...
Mansakongo 2 days?
Yes, Mansakongo 2 days.
Yes.
And during that period, they inflicted, well, they assaulted you pretty much.
Yes, very well.
Yes. Yes.
And the next one is this detention for 1 month. And this 1 month detention, there was no infliction of severe pain or injury on you. There was no assault. There was no.
No, nobody.
Nobody beat me.
The other claim you had of the $37,000 that was already paid. Good. So. Do you have any other complaint of any human rights violations against you? Before we move to the others?
Myself,
in 22 years.
In these 22 years, if that is the case, that's where it ended.
Thank God. Thank God. So now tell us about other human rights violations that occurred in Soma that you are aware of.
Thank you, Council. The ones I was aware of, I was there.
1999.
I think this was in 1999. 11 people were arrested from Jara Sikunda by the police.
Yes,
they were brought to Jara Soma. What they said, they said they decided to go against the government orders. Because the government gave them an alkali. They refused to pay their rates and taxes to that alkali. Because of that, on a Sunday, the chief decided to take them for trial. They were taken to court. The chief himself, Yaya Jajusi, he sent them for 40 days and took them to Janjambure. 40 days, that's what they spent at Janjambure. They were taken by a military. Soldiers were guarding them with guns on board the vehicle. That happened in my presence at LRR.
Let me ask you. Their crime was they failed to pay rates and taxes.
Appointed impose alcalo. Because it's a traditional line of inheritance.
What happens there is the traditional line of inheritance for the alkaliship, but this man was imposed on them and imposed alkali. This is why they refused. What they told me was that they were not even aware of anybody who was selected as an alkali in their village.
But did they know that the alkali to whom they were paying rates was not the alkali that was approved by the government?
Foi nata lon na ko eteli alkalo mellong e ka joro ke meyanu wo mu moleti meyalon ko man sakunda man na son pour ka continue ka bulaje yebe fonde ko lunkili non inata e ko wo alkalo men e masakunda ay mento mo ako atle mo alkalo ay sare mol ko mande aw foy. Well, what the information they gave me was that it was just one day that this man came and called them and said to them that now he is the alkali who has been appointed by the government.
But you know that the alkali is always given a stamp.
Really, very well.
And the other stamp is always withdrawn.
Our stamp was stamped with amari bulule.
How can?
Yes.
Are you aware whether this was done in Sikunda?
What they told me, and what the arrangement that took place, the heads of their clans, the Kabilo heads, so that they can select somebody
in line with traditional inheritance, inheritance way of succession.
In line with traditional norms of selection. Isn't it the case, or wasn't it the case, that the villagers did not like the alcalo that was imposed to them?
Yes, that's what happened.
And in protest, they decided to pay their rates and taxes to the person they recognize as their alcalo.
That's what happened.
In effect, the person who was not recognized by the government was the person receiving rates and taxes.
Munta mansakunda mensute wala keta mode me alon ko wala be namol ning lampol ning mansakunda ma mensute wala be namol ning lampol ning kaninkan
wala keta.
Yes, that's what happened.
So therefore, in the eyes of the government, somebody was receiving rates without lawful authorization.
Amunta mansa nyati lengola mole be kisato kono je me alon ko be namol ni lampol ta kan.
That's what happened.
And couldn't you see that in the eyes of the government that the act of the people meant that in fact rates and taxes were not effectively paid? Because it was not paid to the recognized authority.
Amunta menketa numoto etela namun nilempolo. Amanjo katu itelia di menna o manke moti mansakunda e men cross. Itelia etel mansakunda e melondi itelinyanta di la menna. Amunta e manna joro kewoya.
Wala fawakata.
That's what happened.
And didn't you see that as a violation of the laws?
For imaje ko wumuluati nyaleti.
Masakunda la karola luati nyala bari wol fana la lua etola karola yadele ko wo fana etola nyanto tinyala masaya etola nyanto tinyala kadu wo mu to fana la juleti pour masakunda accès consult because nyaade ko local government act be ko in consultation with the traditional line of inheritance.
That's really on their side. What they did was against the law. But what the government also did to them was against the law, because the government should have consulted them and give them the information about the new person who has been selected. Because what they knew before was the normal line of inheritance, which was the norm before, which used to take place there. But if they bring in someone new, suddenly, and they didn't have any information about this, this is what caused the problem.
Let me ask you this. If there was a person collecting taxes in your area, the
government
changed the person, You did not like the change.
Andu itaman lafio falindirola.
You even believed that the change was unlawful.
Ita fanata la nyina ko falindiro fonga ning lua mantanyola.
You proceeded to pay taxes to the person who the government did not authorize to collect taxes.
Alnata namoni lempojo moya mansakunda mameng tombom puru ay namoni lempolu kaning.
Don't you see that you would have been in violation with the tax rules?
Fo alteo jela ko wata alien namujo lua tinyale.
Wolem tonyati kadu masakunda lebe marlim bankola anu ay authority sorle ka mo appointed dawda bari fana ñun fala la ñan tolem comme lolu government acte ya me ñame ni be mo to bonna e ñana consultation kala le sate molu wol fana e tol fana sita wala kan wol mula ray yamta ko ko fana bolo protecta.
That's quite true, but the government should also realize that if they take a new person, they should have been given the information that a change has already taken place, then they will be able to know what is going on. But they were not informed, they were not given prior information.
You see, these people were tried for a court for not paying taxes. Isn't it?
Of course.
That's what happened.
Wasn't it in fact true that they did not pay taxes to the authorized authority?
That's what happened.
So what's the problem?
They also
consult.
Because they also saw it that the government violated their rights because they were not consulted.
So if there was a rights violation, in fact, that would not be a rights violation. That may have been a procedural failure on the part of the government. So the government may have failed to observe the procedures that it's set for the purposes of appointing an alcalo.
Woto mansale nata je ko kolu falintale puru inyanta alcalo tombo na silo men imo silota wo falingole nata kolu sabu
wole conflict sambana.
Yes, but that should not give rise to the refusal of the people to pay taxes to the authorized authority, to the lawfully authorized authority, or to the authorized authority for that matter.
But sate moli balanka namo jo nyanta jola miya mansakunda mintombo puri nyanta namo jola miya.
So can we move on? It appears that the commissioner wants to say something about it.
Yeah, the Ali can even foresee his commission or her commission and whatever.
Miat nebe jolo ke kang alikalo ya, walang puro alikalo yung kuon mo tatorong ka amara.
But if you pay at the area council, they calculate that and pay it to the alikali, even though it doesn't go through his hands or her hands. So it's not obligatory that it's paid to the alikali.
Manke ko luwati puri nyanta ujoro fonkela alikalo ya.
So it makes it even worse, really, for those who claim that this is a rights violation, because it just goes to show that these people completely failed to pay taxes. Because if they did not recognize the alkali, they could have paid to the area council, but they did not. They chose their own alcalo and wanted to honor that person and paid their rates there to their own peril. But let's move on to another topic.
Okay.
Another thing.
LRR.
In LRR.
Kumanda Bankoro.
In LRR as a region.
2001.
In 2001.
Abri register banda.
After the registration.
Party me UDP.
The party called UDP.
Inara na mul men yalonko ye consider ko.
They came and the people that they considered.
All man Gambian only.
That they are non-Gambians.
West African sub-region.
They came from the West African
sub-region. But they settled in LRR.
But they are settled in LRR.
And register voters card.
And they feel that those people should not get voters card.
But the APRC la
but the assistant of with the assistant of APRC,
in a register voters card,
they got the voters card.
But IEC la sarol ko.
According to the IEC's regulations,
voters card
if an individual person got a voters card
and among qualify as a citizen,
but he's not qualified to be a citizen,
also ownership voters card also challenge before revising court.
You can challenge the person's how he got the voters card at the
revising
it at the
revising court.
You mota nimfulonata wo samba revising court. You multo kafunyo kang region obe kang.
These 12 people, they happen to take these people, so they mobilize people in the whole region.
Yeah, samba revising court.
They took it to the revising court.
Ko wolumla register pur ya table.
That those people, their register should be taken away from them.
Okito kera sinya kilimfula.
That case took place twice.
But they
changed the court.
Because
of the involvement of the APRC military. Now they turned the charges to the UDP military.
False information
that those people, the UDP people gave false information to they were tried. The magistrate was called Buba Jao. They were taken to Janjambure for 50 days. That happened in my presence. Myself and many other people in LRR, we took that as a violation of rights.
But do you know whether those people provided truthful evidence that those whose registration was challenged, that they were not in fact Gambians?
Anko fal yalo ne ko wol yese diar senengo fango funtindi le katandi ko ko molu manke Gambian
momo e momes samani mo kilo momes samani.
Each and every one of them, the person.
But
they are resident in their village.
They
know the person. They know the person. Which country or which region. It was clear to them that those people. This is why they were summoned.
Give us examples.
Council.
With their names, I did not bring them along.
Are you suggesting that Buba Jao of precious memory unfairly convicted these people?
Well,
that's our view.
Because
the person who's made the summons, you shifted that summons.
Yala men amaneta dale yala mo kamela ko mo samadrok.
But Mr. Fadera, that is not funny and it is not uncommon.
Mr. Fadera,
and it is not uncommon. For the simple fact that those who petitioned the revising court may have lied. And if they lied, they could very well be prosecuted for giving false information. So the question is whether there was evidence and that in both trials the judges acted in accordance with the law and in accordance with their best understanding of the evidence. So unless you have evidence you cannot say anything about it. You cannot leave it to guesswork. You cannot leave it to speculation. And I want to believe from what you have said, it looks like you are just basing it on speculation. Isn't it the case?
Council.
These people who made the summons, they are all elderly.
And Kebas don't lie.
They knows them.
That's my belief.
That's my belief.
Okay. So Kebas are all angels. Kebas don't lie. Okay, so then we leave it at that.
Thank you.
The next one?
Again?
2007.
I think in 2007, I was aware.
Just a moment. Sorry. Let me take you back. Do you know some of those people who were convicted and sent to prison for 70 days?
50 days.
50 days, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yankuba Sonko. Ramo Sonko. Masane Dampa, yes. Momadou Diop. Labali Cissé. Are all these people UDP?
Very well.
Continue.
Yankuba Sediba.
Boubacar Sediba. Do you know whether any of these people have filed an application to the TRRC?
You know, dole fatale but men fatale dimbali application or savele, but dole fana balune application.
Some of them are of late now, but some of them their relatives have filed.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much. This would be looked at further to see whether there is any evidence suggesting that these people were just tried and wrongfully convicted simply because they were UDP people. And they were being punished for challenging supporters of the APRC.
Be kol kiskiseler ka jibe foto nyalo nyimolu ye kitini leke sorong andu woni luwa manta ko katu ngi lotal dron ko ka ko ngi kelem yalon ko e APRC ko le mi ha unity APRC ko le mi ke mi yalon ka man beti ay to lewo lekele so to nate muta wolla ka ke kitini ke sorong wala.
But for the purposes of this hearing,
bare ñing mbel ñi siyo minto la ko la,
would you just agree that you do not have any evidence to prove the allegations that have been made?
Ite CDR table mi atina batandile janka jako ite kumo min foten tumiro min foton kulo mi alon ko kusenongolom
that you do not possess any evidence to prove the allegation that's just been made?
Ko CDR table mimba at senen la janko ite tumiro min foten kulo min sotata
hani
no.
Thank you very much. Could you proceed,
Thank
please?
You very much.
2007.
Again?
2007, Nimanyina.
In 2007, if I may remember.
Soma town Alcalo.
Soma town's Alcalo.
What's his name?
Kemorin
Dabo.
Well, Soma town Alcalo then.
He was the Alcalo of Soma town as he was then.
And he said for Yaya Jaji.
Him and the chief Yaya Jaji.
You saba Kenokola.
They have a problem with the land.
Chief Yaya Jaji.
Chief Yaya Jaji. What I was told.
That Kemorin
Dabo.
Abari Malemu Yaya Jaji Barne Kemorin.
It's an uncle to Yaya Jaji.
But
when they have problem,
police will order a Kemorin arrest.
He called the police
ordered. Kemorin police station.
They arrested Kemorin and he was detained
24 hours.
for 24 hours. That happened in my presence. I myself, I found him at the police station.
And do you know the basis of his detention?
What I was told, they have a problem about the land issue.
But do you know who was right?
No.
Honey. No.
So you do not know whether there were any human rights violations in that incident? Okay, so then we leave that one too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, move on.
Again.
Almamo ba soma sate almamo town almamo
Imam of
Soma town almamo
Soma town imam
Alhaji Karamo Kante
Alhaji Karamo Kante
ya jaisi a police will order ya arrest.
He ordered the police to arrest him.
Asamba police station odo.
He was taken to the police station.
Ya charge.
He was charged.
Quite false information of the Yaya Jamel.
That he gave false information to the former president Yaya Jammeh.
Ya samba kitola.
He was taken to court.
Mansa Konko. Magistrato nyatli mule kafa Surahata Danso.
In front of the magistrate called Surahata Danso.
Ye kitio kaje.
There the trial took place.
Video banda.
At the end of the trial,
Magistrate Surahata Danso.
The magistrate Surahata Danso.
Ay Alhaji Karamo Kante Imamo.
Alhaji Karamo Kante, the imam.
Aya acquitted and discharged.
Acquitted and discharged him.
That
happened in my presence in Soma.
And did anything happen to the magistrate?
Thank you very much, Council. When he did that, you were aware that that Yaya Judge, the chief,
another report of APRC
he made a report at the APRC. Because the day of the judgment, I was there myself, Fadera. The magistrate, what he said, according to his investigation at his own level, that the chief, if you see this Imam Karamo Kante, if you see he was reported,
the
chief's brother or his stepfather, is the one who took Alhaji Karamo Kante's land during that conflict. The chief supported his stepfather. This is why he did this to this man. The magistrate was able to be aware of all that. According to his investigation, what he said in my presence, he said the chiefs violated the law seriously. We read something in my presence that is the job of the chief. Magistrate Surahata Danso read that in my presence.
Local Government Act.
He said, according to the Local Government Act,
duties of the CFO,
the duties of the chief,
Section 137,
according to Section 137,
subject to powers and functions vested in the district authority, under Section 139,
Section 139 Yafonyaming,
CFO shall
Nyantale,
A,
follow,
promote,
Kidimandiroke,
good order,
Marali Kendola,
and stability in his district. B, reside over district tribunal, and here, and determine matters over which they have jurisdiction according to law. C, promote the general well-being of the district. D, safeguard the tradition, customs, culture of the district, and promote the well-being
mola jamamolu
of the people
mola nafa nulunjao
keep
sabatindrike
a register
sabatindrike register la
every village
sate o sate la
the district
memba la tundo kan
and F
du woro njao
perform
aje ko ka do
such orders
do kolla
duties
menu yalon ko
as may be
na jaretala
assigned to him
ni ya ya do ya ye men do ko men diala
by the council
ansule do ko men
or commissioner
waranto commandant
plus governor
waranto commandant
ainile fo nyala.
This is what he said in my presence.
But
But the magistrate said,
based on his own
based on his own investigations, he said the chief Yaya Jajusi, all the troubles that happen in LRR, he is the cause.
Make it that.
And that is not your job. He should try and maintain peace, but he is not doing that.
Court proceeding.
He also interfered during his court proceedings.
Because one of the witnesses
said, that who was supposed to come and attend that trial, and he's an elderly person. When he comes, he will speak the truth. One person, the chiefs went to his compound. He said to him that we all agreed that we can allege Karamo. He can be jailed. So you can also join the other witness. The chief said that person is not well. Chief himself went to the hospital.
Chief medical officer
he said to the chief medical officer
Basiru Drame
by the name Basiru Drame
medical paper
so that they can help this elderly person so that he will not appear before the court.
Basiru Drame fanayo medical paper
Basiru also prepared that medical paper and he gave it to that elderly person. That elderly person forwarded it to the court. The magistrate said, said the chiefs interfered with his court and the law did not accept that. But the care where the chief is, the respect accorded to him. This is why he did not make an arrest for him to be taken to Janjambur prison. But what the chief did, according to the he did not do that. He is advising him, let him change his attitude and try and maintain peace. Let him not create people. That is his job. Said to Karamo, go home, you did not do anything.
Mr. Witness, you are recalling these facts from memory.
Yes. When that happened, that was a big problem. The chief came all the way to Banjul. He saw with his people. I was aware that
Lamin Kababajo.
He was the one
National Assembly matters.
He was the one responsible of their political affairs and National Assembly matters. If I may remember, he was the one who spoke to the daily newspaper.
News conference press conference.
He had a press conference
about
the magistrate. He said what the magistrate said.
Honorable Madisise
was the one who wrote that story. He said Lamin Kababajo said allegations he leveled against the chief. If I may remember, the way they paraphrased it was that
the utterances made by the magistrate is capable of bringing hate and disrepute into the office of the CFO of Jara West.
At the CFO ni mom Jara West la CFO ti as ala office ko na bol be nat la office ko na.
Extra.
Member
remember fully.
I can remember that fully.
Inara magistrate ya baido kola.
Then the magistrate was sacked from his job. And he went home.
This particular incident has been noted in our investigations into the violations that happened in the judiciary. We are aware that Magistrate Surah had done so upon giving a judgment that was not satisfactory to the government, was improperly dealt with by the government. Thank you very much for that one. Do you have any other violation you have? Which one?
Yes, I was aware.
2014.
In 2014, these people,
the
NIA arrested them.
You enter NIA under detention?
They found me NIA, I was under detention.
Lamin Dabo, former governor,
the former governor,
Alkali
Sala,
GDC la National Assembly candidate for Jara West,
GDC National Assembly candidate for Jara West,
Sheriff Ba, GDC la mobilizer Kabada area,
GDC's mobilizer Kabada area,
Bubakar Jallo, GDC la council candidate for Jaduma Ward,
GDC's council Jaduma Ward.
Enter NIA.
They found me at the NIA.
Kabinata.
They said when they came, they said
they
were brought there by the NIA. But they said they got a report from the chief judges. These people I mentioned here. They said these people they met around Kabada Misra. That Yaya Jammeh was supposed to come on a presidential tour. Because Kabada, the whole of Kabada, LRR,
APR 100%.
Those people are the APRC 100%. Those are the people who did not have any development on that.
2014.
And now when Yaya Jammeh is coming for his tour in 2014, what they told me at the NIA, whether it's true or lie, I don't know. That's what they told me. They said, they said they made, they wrote some banners.
Primary school ground.
They will go to the meeting venue at Soma Primary School.
So that
they can tie the banners up. They will come and say, Kabada did not have any development. And Kabada is the 100% APRC. So they said what Yaya told the NIS again. It will not stop there. They will throw stones at Yaya Jammeh's meeting venue. NIS arrested them. But when I was there with them, they spent 2 weeks there. I'm aware that the NIA sent a team of investigators. But after they did their investigation, these people, they said this allegation that they said it was leveled against them by Yaya. The NIA said they did not see those allegations.
What do you mean by they don't approve?
They did not see the allegations.
Yes.
They did not have any evidence.
But let me ask you this question. Demonstrating in front of the president, that is lawful, isn't it?
Yes.
That is that's not a problem. But throwing stones at the president during his meeting, that would be unlawful. And yes, if there is a plan to do that, it would be a national security issue, isn't it?
And ni ofero fanan sitile ka fuko police woke. O fanan meke la kulete na tanko tanka la kulete police ata si haklo.
Na rawala mtonya very well.
But all that is the truth. That's very well.
If there is any information about that there would be a reasonable basis to carry out an arrest and investigate.
No nio kibaro fanan soto wota ba nyanta tale puri tol sita e mol muta odulanto.
Government na nyantolti.
That is the obligation of the government.
And we don't know whether Yaya Jajisi had genuine information or not.
Andu malum fo Yaya Jajisi ate kibaru senengole soto wokul kono.
Council. Ndenga lonko.
I knew that.
If that iota of truth now,
if there is any iota of truth indeed, those people all of them. That's my belief.
But what we are saying here is not about whether that the allegations are true or not. The important thing is whether there were reasonable basis to believe the allegations.
Ntolbe mi fokanya manga ko e mitumiro mi fotonya lon fotonya bare fo kuya misal ko ngasikeno kuti mi alon ko asototale.
You see, the basis for arrest
mi mbasa bla fo e molmuta
under the law
na loi la siloto
is reasonable grounds to believe that the persons concerned were committing or have committed an offense.
Anyanta kala tukule timi alon ko kusanangol mi mbakela ko ngi mario la silo ni ko tonyalom ko anjarita le pruye ngi molmuta.
That's the standard.
Anyanta kala wala betata wala nyama.
So we cannot tell whether Yaya Jajisi fabricated evidence against these people just to have them arrested and detained. We cannot say that, can we?
Sila wayata ndine ko ntolta fono la ko Yaya Jajisi ay ko mutala ka dada dron pour ka jiko se mano ngi molka.
I see you shake your head. Are you agreeing with me?
Ajele ko ngojija fo inteni be nyomo kaneba.
Baka fawde.
Very well.
So therefore to say that Yaya Jajisi got these people arrested in violation of their rights, that would be speculation, correct?
La niko Yaya Jajisi ay nyimol mutale akele fo nyimol muta and atara o manyal minka o la hada madi nyanta tinyale ke kamunta ko kamunta ko mira ko wolom dra malle amanke kut mi alon ko aseniatema.
Correct?
Baka.
Very well.
Okay. So then if there is anything we can settle for here is that their detention for 2 weeks without being taken before a judge, if they were not taken before a judge at all, would be a violation of their rights.
Ning ataram tol jang be ku fola janne mi alon ko e minke la mang betia wolom ke mutake sindi dula kilin folo kum fulay me kitindi o mu hada madi nyanta tinyalit.
Baka.
Very well.
So that's the only rights violation we can agree on as it is on this particular case.
Betembo minto hada madi nyanta tinya ngindoronom nyanta bedna kambe na wol drone la ko wole keta jang yinko wol kono.
Baka.
Very well.
Do you know of any other one?
Baka, nkanale.
Very well, I'm coming.
Kodake fana?
Again.
Ajolong.
Kodake fana?
Again.
Yaya Jajisi?
Yaya Jajisi.
Yara Wesefo?
Chief of Jaras West.
These
3 people I'm coming to mention.
He
said he is the one who took their land from them.
Kassim, we are not dealing with the issue of land.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay, Barakai, violation. Okay, see, the land issue is...
Yes, because if we want to deal with land
something ought to happen. Because
we must say...
Because you don't need government land.
Because if you say government land...
government land, the whole property belongs to every Gambian.
That belongs to all Gambians.
We are not dealing with the issue of land. There was meant to be a land commission which would deal with the issue of land.
Kassim,
if we want to take that up, TRRC
forget about that one, since that one is beyond your mandate.
Okay, what I mentioned here.
Amanjari
okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Ngamira wolem fengol me alon koko nyanta tinyal men kata elarar say kadu tanku
I think these are the violations
nyanta tinyal do beja men kata kiam kulikunda
that there's another one that happened in Kiang Kulikunda
2001
in 2001 Jongulas
me nyaron kaya
headed by Solo Bojang.
Rara Kulikunda.
They went to Kulikunda.
Ye Kesabamura.
They arrested 3 men.
Ye Samba Sato Kono.
They took them.
3 men, who and who?
It's inside the village.
Okay, thank you. What am Jansuru Njai?
What?
Jansuru
Njai.
Karafandi Njai. Baba Njai.
Baba Njai.
This should have been Njai Kunda.
Jongulas went to their village
2001.
In the year 2001. They said these 3 men, they got a report that they used to insult Yaya Jammeh in the village. And they got that report long since. They arrested these 3 men. What they told me, it was raining. They took them outside. They brought them outside. They asked them to crawl on the ground. In water, they were having guns. What they told me, Solo Bojang,
Kausu Kamara, small boy, something
that person, small boy, there's another person. But the people I cannot forget is Kausu Kamara Bombardre, Solo Bojang, and other people.
Yes, Munumandi.
They were made to crawl. What they told me, they said they were kicking them. They were moving around the village. Let's go around the village. Their wives were looking at them. Their kirlens too were looking at them. The relatives were looking at them. They said they were doing that. They were made to do that for a long time. When upon the satisfaction of the Jongulas, they re-arrested them. They were taken to Kanilai.
For how long?
2 days.
Okay.
Kanilai too. Swamp. They say there's a swamp. There's a lot of water. Their legs were tied. They tied their hands. They put them in that. What they told me.
Who told you this?
You know, Jansuru Njai. Karafandi
Njai.
Baba Njai, what a America.
Baba Njai is no longer here, he's in America.
But
I got this information
Do you know whether any one of them has made a complaint to the TRRC?
These 2 people, their complaints were written at the TRRC here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And again, in Kianjomar.
2001.
In Jomari. In the year 2001.
After the
election.
A night after the election day.
Suto janding Kartefa Besila.
No, after the election.
Suto Kartefa Suto Mena Suto Ning.
The day after the election.
What elections was this?
2001.
Presidential or
thank you, presidential election.
Well, President Kartefa.
Boricham. Bunjo. The
owner of the house. What he told me. Because before the election, APRC.
They
were passing, going for a meeting in Jasobo. They saw on top of his house there was a UDP flag. APRC, their vehicle stopped.
22nd July boys or Kobe Selaji, Santo.
Their boys, APRC 22nd July boys, they want to climb on top of that house to remove the flag. But their elders said, no, don't remove it. There will be a day that this flag will be...
I mean for a day after presidential election.
What he told me, a day after the presidential election, he said, according to them, they were lying around, they were on bed around 2 to 3 a.m. Unknown people came. They climbed on top of their house and poured fuel. They set the house on fire. They were in the house, they were not aware. It was the villagers who came to them, they are telling them that your house is getting fire. They were assisted and what he told me, all their belongings got burned in the house. Their rice, their animals also got burned, they died. They said it has serious disturbance to them.
And in this particular instance, these people only have suspicion that the house was burnt by APRC supporters.
That's what they said. They said when they were going for a meeting in Jasobo, they said they wanted to remove that flag. Their elders said, no, this flag, there will be a day in which the flag will be removed. When after the election, their second victory, their house was burned.
But they
suspected that it was done by the APRC.
So that is just a suspicion.
Very well.
Proceed.
After that, now LRR, as a village, it's called Madina Fonkoy. In that village,
500 meters ile campo beje APRC 500 meters campo.
It is away from 500.